Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about iZombie Season 3, Episode 3. It's called Eat, Pray, Live. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. So, this brought the Ravi and Peyton stuff kind of to the forefront.
Yeah, this one actually really balanced quite a few plots.
It did. It was setting up some future stuff with Dawn and Blaine's father. Agnes,
Mm.
his name is. I really need to like watch myself when I'm saying his name because I always want to say Teabag because that's who he was in Prison Break,
Right.
and it's a really easy name to remember because it was such a unique
I just remember his
nickname.
surname as De Beers because then the caption came up. You know where they do the caption boxes.
All right, yeah,
Yeah, one of them was Cheers De Beers.
yeah. But I always think Teabag, so I always jump to that. But yeah, so they're setting up their thing, and of course we had the case of the week with the murder as well. Plus Major and his thing, also with Fillmore Graves. So it had a lot of moving parts. To start with the Peyton Ravi stuff, I do. I think if this plot's failing in any capacity, it's that I find myself not really siding with one of them,
Yeah,
specifically
yeah, I know what you
Peyton.
mean.
Now don't get me wrong, obviously at the end and they go for the Ravi slept with Agent Cups.
Yeah.
Uh, and all I could hear in my head was they were on a break. They were on a break.
Uh, Never gets old, does it?
But like, so that bit was whatever, that was fine. But the like, see when they're in the morgue and they're arguing, all right, so we've got this serum to cure the memory loss, but we don't know what side effects it'll have. But hey, let's test it on Blaine. He's already lost his memory, and he should be the guinea pig because he's an evil scumbag.
Yeah.
And that is the argument that's essentially made. It's the argument that Ravi gives. Ravi admittedly probably gets a little bit too emotional about it, but
Yeah, like you can kind of see Peyton and Blaine says like, well, he's a better person now. So do you really want him to get those memories back?
you don't really want him to get his memories back. But at the same time, he should be the guinea pig. I am 100% in that side of the camp.
See, but I can see both sides because you're punishing it because now he's not that same person, is he? So you're punishing someone now who's not.
It's not
You
about
know, it's
punishment though.
it kind of is because it's
No, it's
atonement.
not. It's not about punishment. It's about he's the one who should take this risk because he's at fault. He may not remember doing it, but he's
Yeah.
still the one who started all this. As Ravi points out, he is directly responsible for Major being a
Oh
zombie in
no,
the
I
first place.
agree, but that's what gets murky about who he is now isn't who he was then, is it? So it's like, well, there's that argument to be made.
Not in this case. I feel like it's not been long enough. I'm still not entirely convinced he's he's faking, to be honest. Uh,
That's fair.
but like I like, but I also don't like blame like even if you came at me with that argument and I kind of agreed with you, I also wouldn't blame Liv or Ravi or Major or anyone for not jumping to that. Why would
No,
they? Like
definitely not.
this guy put them through hell and did all these awful things. Like
Yeah, the only one in this particular episode that I could see having that argument is Liv, given that the brain she's on.
oh yeah, obviously yeah. But I mean that is variable episode to episode.
Exactly.
What she's thinking about things. Uh, but honestly, Peyton's reaction to Blaine and like sort of being with them after like he's lost his memory, so he's better now, and it's like okay, sure, but it kind of feels like you're just. Oh, he's kind of the guy that I want him to be in the first place. This is just kind of convenient for me. I'm just going to
Yeah.
accept this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, as much as she was calling out Ravi for being kind of like obvious and he's biased and all that stuff, it kind of felt like she was just being shallow, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. Definitely.
And that kind of made me feel like, no, I'm clearly on Ravi's side with this. Under no circumstance am I on your side here. Now, don't get me wrong, she's writing a lot of points about Ravi not being nice to her and being a dick.
Yeah.
He is. He is being kind of a dick and he's being kind of douchebaggy about certain things. But, like, as
That's
far
a
as
different stuff. That's a different
yeah,
matter, isn't it?
when it comes to blame, when it comes to him being the one who has to take the responsibility, even if he can't remember it, because who's to say he won't remember someday anyway? He could get his memories back naturally,
He
because
he could.
it's all unknown science. Like it's all
Yeah.
so he could. I don't know. I just in that conversation there was not a single fibre of my being that said no. Blaine shouldn't do it. He
I don't
now
know.
has
I
a
can
right to
see it.
choose.
I'm just saying, I can see it.
Nah, I was like, nah, he should do it. And it was like, Peyton's like, you don't have to do this. And she's like, I know. And I'm like, no, you do have to do this. Shut up!
I do think it could have been presented a little better as an argument, but I can see their side, even if because of the way she's saying it, it comes across as shallow. It does, but I can see the argument behind it.
Honestly, for me, I think what would have worked way better for this scene is if you take out the Peyton Ravi, like, argument of it, right? And you just let it be about Major explaining to him, look, I'm going to start dying, and I'm going to have to take the cure, and I'm going to have to take this to get my memories back, and I actually want to remember who I am, right? And he does say that, right? But if it became more about that, and he explains to Blaine, you did this to me, you caused this, you're the reason why I'm at risk.
Yeah, like, I think that would have worked a lot better with Blaine than choosing to do it out of a sense of guilt of that, rather than just over the Ravi Peyton thing. It would have been better. Yeah,
the Ravi Peyton thing murkied it, which I guess is kind of the whole point, is that their feelings are murkying everything up.
Yeah.
But it just that was my problem with that scene, is that I was clearly on one side and not the other. Whereas, I always appreciate it when I can see both sides of the argument.
Yeah.
And then the ending where he slept with the cups, it's like, okay, but it's kind of a typical TV trope where they almost get back together and he's just screwed it up at the last second.
It was very cliche, wasn't it?
Yeah, very cliche. So the rest of the episode, Blaine actually finds out about his father because he's sitting with them, and Peyton comes in. He's like, "Blaine, that's your father," and then he tells him this awful story about his childhood and how he sold his mother's earrings to a drug dealer to get some funds. And again, that's why the other solution to that other scene might have worked better, is that if you're sort of building this idea throughout the episode that he's learning about who he was and how he's not happy about it, and if he wants to be a better person, then taking the risk, even if it is at the risk of becoming that shitty person again.
Yeah. Which is why, like I said, I can see the argument there. It's just, it could have been much better.
I still think it's selfish, though. If he decides not to do it, it still feels selfish to me. Because if he is really this better person, he should want to do it for the right reasons.
I agree.
So Dawn and old Teabag, they are setting up their own. They're basically doing their own version of the brain business, where they're going to have a club, and and there's some funny bits where Dawn keeps trying to suggest things, and Agnes is like, "No, stop starting sentences with I've been thinking." Kind of.
I do like his eventual name though.
Oh, the Scratching Post.
Yeah, it's a good name.
Yeah, it's a cat related thing. I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Sure.
I'm okay with it. But they set up this idea. The thing that Blaine used to do, where he'd like assassinate people if like a zombie wanted I want an astronaut's brain kind of thing. That was one of the season 1 plot lines, like that kind of thing. But for the cheap people, for the people who can't afford thousands and thousands of dollars, I've got a cheap hospital in, what was the country?
India or something like that.
Oh, I wasn't quite India, but yeah, it was like that. Yeah.
Over in that region of the world.
Yeah. He's like, and it's like, the high mortality rate. We'll have shipments every week. Speaking of cats, what are you doing, you little terror? You heard Scratching Post and you get all excited.
I know, every time.
But so they're setting up their thing, and they've got this new test where they've got like a chili pepper to make sure the people coming in are actually zombies, because a person will overreact to it, whereas a zombie, because they like the spiciness, because it's the only thing that gets it close to having a taste, as we've clearly had since season 1.
It's a good test.
Well, the first test that Don wanted to do was to drill them in the hand.
Yeah, not the best test.
Oh, sorry, no, nail gun them in the hand.
Nail gun,
Let me get the tool right. It was a nail gun, not a drill.
Yeah, and see how they react to the pain.
He's like, yeah, sure, it'll tickle a bit, but
yeah, human's not gonna let you nail gun the hand.
So that was some fun stuff there. Meanwhile, the actual case, the Liv Babineau case, had some fun stuff. I mean, it wasn't super interesting in and of itself, but it did get Liv on like Zen brain, and she was like spouting nonsense throughout the episode about disrupting your peace energy and
I think
all the
it's
rest of it.
ultimately a little bit less fun than all, because it is quite, by its very nature, subdued, the brain. Like, it's kind of very relaxed.
Also, is this the first time she's eaten a brain for a case and not got a vision?
I think it might be.
Because she didn't. There was no visions.
She didn't, no.
Yeah.
Well,
Highlight of all this, though, was Clive having to go into the dumpster.
Oh, yeah. That was so good.
Yeah. I hope that's tartar sauce, or whatever he said. It may not have been tartar, but...
It was Tara, yeah.
God damn it, Cat. But she's like, and the whole thing was just deeply amusing. And Clive's facial expressions throughout the whole thing were just gold. You could screen cap almost that entire scene individually and put captions to them.
Do you know what was probably my favourite thing about the episode? The juxtaposition of her cooking the brains and what she does with them. That, this time she made the lattes. Look pretty good. And then you have Major's brain on crackers.
Yeah, it's so simple. Do you know what that is? That's someone who can cook, and then someone like me who can't cook and just puts it on crackers. That's what that was. Speaking of her making the lattes, I actually, before they did the little joke where she swapped the cups, I actually went, wait, she could easily swap those. They look really similar. Why would she make them both at the same time? And then they do that little joke where she's like, oh no, wait, so I've swapped it, that's yours. And then just the look in Ravi's face as she's like, he's terrified. Like, I almost drank brains.
He's like, you're always testing first from now on.
Pretty much. Yeah, well, that was the main plot. They got the killer. He turned out to be the dude who was pretending to be homeless at the start with the beard. And it was kind of a nothing case, really.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of, okay, fine. It was just... kind of just there.
I think it's because we had the other main plots that were all getting a lot of screen time this week, as the case was really simple because they didn't have as much time to devote to it, which is fine. Like, I'm actually kind of cool with the ongoing plots getting more time.
Yeah, you don't want them to cram this in just for the sake of it.
Yeah. Also funny how the cop car showed up, because Liv and Clive were on the stakeout, and this cop car rolls up and says, oh, we got a call saying that a pimp was shouting at his hoe, and Liv's like, well, you were being quite ratty with me.
Yeah, it's good. So
it was a fun little plot, but there was nothing super like amazing about it either. It was just kind of had its moments.
I agree. It was fine, but it was I think, like I said, it was a very subdued brain by its nature. She's very relaxed, so there wasn't a lot of spouting of funny dialogue.
Yeah, and of course the other main plot is Major, and he's at Fillmore Graves, and he's getting really sick of the test tube style of. Yeah, like brains. It's like a paste, and it's just unreal. And he makes a new friend. I think his name is Justin. His new friend, who's a DJ. He was the DJ at the company party where all the zombie things happened.
They bond because they were the only non-mercenaries.
Yeah, and we see Major, like, despite his name being Major, he is the shittest soldier in the team, because he keeps getting shot in the head with the paintball.
I thought it was funny at first because it was the one right in front of him. It was like, okay. But then the one right behind him, and then you got the drill sergeant out there going, so as well as right in front of you, where's somewhere else that you can get shot in the head from? Yeah, that's right behind you.
No, I like this. I like his new friend. I liked he's like, oh, I've got some real brains. Do you want to try them?
Yeah, all the cool kids are doing it.
And then they're like, they're on like, was it yoga master or yoga instructor?
Zumba.
Zumba instructor, that was it. Yeah. And they're playing the dance game. It was all funny. But of course, the big part here is that we're seeing throughout the episode is that Major is like having these coughing fits. This dying is coming up. We're getting close to it, so it's raising the tension for that plot line, which is good. But that was kind of.
It's going to have to be dealt with sooner rather than later.
And that fed into the main plot. But I like that he's got a friend. I like there's someone else at the Fillmore Graves stuff that we can have him talk to. That's not just a.
My question is, so let's say the cure works, is human and has his memories.
Mm-hmm.
Does he then choose to become a zombie again anyway, because he feels like he's found somewhere where he fits in and belongs at Fillmore Graves?
I can see it.
Yeah, like, because he's kind of finally finding his place there, which he hasn't had for a while.
It's also, it almost feels like the reason why he needed to be human again kind of went away, because he was so like appalled that he was a zombie. He wanted to go be human again. He didn't want it. And he's almost at a point now where he's kind of like, he's eating brains, he's having fun in different types of brain.
Yeah.
It seems like he's adjusted to it fairly well.
Yeah.
So I can almost buy them, like, okay, the cure will just, like, something will happen and he'll just be a zombie permanently. But he's not going to die. Like, we'll fix that.
I'd like to see him make the choice, though. Like go into them, go, right, make me a zombie again.
Yeah, doesn't have to go to all of them. He just has to go to Liv. Here, scratch me.
Yeah,
exactly. He could do that. I could see him doing that if he feels like. But then again, maybe he'll feel like he can be useful now as a human who has all the knowledge of all this
Perhaps,
stuff.
Yeah.
But no, so that was this episode of iZombie. It was like, obviously the different plots were fine. There was a couple of things that maybe didn't quite work for me because I couldn't see both sides of the argument quite as well as what I'd have liked. And the ending was a bit cliched. But there was fun stuff in there. Certainly it doesn't beat last week. Last week was
definitely not.
Last week was a fantastic episode. This was a solid but not spectacular one. So
yeah,
let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that stuff helps us out a lot. Get us on Twitter at @mailed_fuzz for channel updates. Individual Twitters are on the screen. Thanks for watching, guys. Have you got any vanilla?